Have you ever wondered why some parents choose to circumcise their babies while others do not? It's a question that's likely crossed many minds, and the answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. This is because circumcision, a medical procedure where the foreskin covering the tip of the penis is removed, is a practice steeped in centuries of tradition and medical theory. It's a topic that sparks diverse viewpoints and heated debates with strong arguments on both sides of the fence. In today's discussion, we'll be examining the various factors that influence the decision to circumcise, ranging from medical considerations, religious beliefs, cultural practices, and even the ideal age for the procedure. We'll also touch on the known benefits and risks associated with the practice. So buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the realm of the circumcision debate. Join us as we delve into this thought-provoking topic. Firstly, let's explore the medical reasons why some parents choose to circumcise their babies. One of the main reasons parents opt for circumcision often revolves around health benefits. The American Academy of Pediatrics states that the benefits of circumcision outweigh the risks, albeit not significantly enough to recommend universal circumcision. Now, what are these benefits? They include a reduction in the risk of urinary tract infections in the first year of life, a decrease in the risk of sexually transmitted infections, and a lower incidence of penile cancer. However, it's crucial to remember that these benefits don't come without risks. Complications from circumcision, while rare, can include minor issues like bleeding and infection, and in exceedingly rare cases, more serious problems like injury to the penis. Let's hear from some parents who chose to circumcise their babies for medical reasons. One mother shared that her decision was influenced by a family history of urinary tract infections. Another parent, a father, stated that his choice was driven by the reduced risk of sexually transmitted infections, as his own experience with such infections had been a significant hardship. However, it's important to note that not all parents view these medical benefits as definitive reasons to circumcise. Some argue that good hygiene can offer similar protection against infections and that the potential complications, however rare, are not worth the risk. Furthermore, some parents feel that the decision should be left to the child when they're old enough to understand and consent to the procedure. They argue that circumcision is a permanent alteration of the body, and the individual should have a say in whether or not they want that. As we have seen, medical considerations play a significant role in the decision to circumcise. But as we'll explore in the upcoming segments, they're not the only factors at play. Religion, culture, and personal beliefs also hold considerable sway in this complex and sensitive discussion. Religion also plays a key role in the decision to circumcise. Let's hear from some parents who made this choice based on their religious beliefs. In many faiths around the world, circumcision is more than just a medical choice. It's a sacred ritual, a symbol of commitment to a higher power, a rite of passage that cements one's place within a religious community. Take Judaism, for instance. It's no secret that circumcision is a significant religious obligation in this faith. The ritual, known as a bris or Brit Milah, is performed on the 8th day of a male child's life, signifying the covenant between God and Abraham, the first patriarch of the Jewish people. For Jewish parents, this act isn't just about tradition. It's about passing on a centuries-old commitment to their faith to the next generation. Similarly, in Islam, circumcision is considered a sunnah, a practice highly recommended and followed by the Prophet Muhammad. While it's not explicitly mentioned in the Quran, it's deeply rooted in Islamic tradition. Many Muslim parents choose to circumcise their sons as a way of demonstrating their family's faithfulness and adherence to Islamic customs. We spoke with parents from both these faiths, and their testimonies were strikingly similar. They expressed that their decision to circumcise was not merely driven by tradition or societal norms, but by a profound sense of religious duty and the desire to connect their children to a rich spiritual heritage. However, it's important to note that not all religious groups endorse circumcision. Some Christian denominations, for instance, believe that the New Testament superseded the Old Testament's commandment for circumcision. Some religious groups within Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism do not practice circumcision at all. In the end, the decision to circumcise for religious reasons is deeply personal and varies widely among different faiths and even among individuals within the same faith. Clearly, religious beliefs can strongly influence parents' decisions about circumcision. Cultural practices also impact parents' decisions about circumcision. Let's learn more from parents who made this choice based on cultural traditions. There are many parts of the world where circumcision is a rite of passage, a cultural milestone that marks the transition from boyhood to manhood. In some African cultures, for instance, tribes like the Xhosa and the Maasai perform circumcision as a rite of passage. It's a deeply rooted tradition, one that's passed down from generation to generation and is a significant part of their identity. On the other side of the globe, in South Korea, the practice of circumcision isn't linked to religion or a rite of passage. Instead, it's a modern tradition that's influenced by American military presence during the Korean War. Most South Korean boys undergo circumcision during their teenage years, seeing it as a step towards becoming a man. Now, let's hear from some parents who chose to circumcise their babies due to cultural practices. One parent from the Maasai tribe in Kenya shared, "It's a tradition that we've held on to for centuries. It's about teaching our young boys about bravery and responsibility. It's more than just a physical act. It's a spiritual journey for us." Another parent from South Korea said, "It's not about religion for us. It's more about fitting in with the majority. We don't want our son to feel different from his peers when they grow up." These are just a few examples of how cultural practices around the world influence decisions about circumcision. It's a deeply personal decision, one that's influenced by a myriad of factors, including the cultural norms and traditions that parents hold dear. However, it's important to remember that while cultural practices play a significant role, they shouldn't overshadow the health and well-being of the child. It's crucial that parents make informed decisions, weighing the cultural significance against potential risks and benefits, and always in consultation with healthcare professionals. As we can see, cultural practices greatly influence parents' decisions on circumcision. Another key consideration is the age at which circumcision should take place. The timing of circumcision is a matter of personal preference, cultural tradition, and medical opinion. Some parents choose to have their newborn circumcised in the first few days of life, while others may elect to wait until the child is older. If we look at early circumcision, the procedure is often performed in the first few days after birth. The benefits of this timing include a lower risk of complications, a shorter healing time, and less memory of the procedure. However, there are also potential downsides. These include the discomfort for the newborn and the fact that the decision is made without the child's consent. On the other hand, some parents may choose to delay circumcision until their child is older. In this case, the child can play a role in the decision-making process. However, the procedure at an older age may carry a higher risk of complications and a longer recovery time. Parents' views on the ideal age for circumcision can vary widely. Some parents believe that circumcision should be performed as soon as possible after birth, while others feel that the child should be old enough to understand and consent to the procedure. There are also parents who choose not to circumcise their sons at all, believing that the decision should be left to the individual when they reach adulthood. These parents argue that circumcision is a personal decision that should be made by the person who will live with the consequences. It's important to note that there is no universally right age for circumcision. The decision depends on a variety of factors, including cultural, religious, and personal beliefs, as well as medical considerations. In conclusion, the age at which circumcision should take place is a decision that requires thoughtful consideration and open dialogue between parents, and, when appropriate, the child himself. The appropriate age for circumcision is clearly a topic of much debate. But what do medical professionals say about circumcision? This is a question that lingers in the minds of many parents, grappling with the decision of whether or not to circumcise their newborns. Medical professionals play a pivotal role in this decision. They're the ones armed with years of medical training and experience, and their advice can shed light on the intricacies of circumcision, helping parents make an informed decision. Now, this doesn't mean they make the decision for you, but their input can guide you as you weigh the pros and cons. Let's consider the story of Alice and John, new parents who found themselves in this very situation. When their son was born, they were unsure about circumcision. They had their religious beliefs, their cultural practices, and their personal feelings, but they also knew that they needed professional advice. So they sought consultation from their pediatrician. Their pediatrician explained to them the medical aspects of circumcision, the potential benefits and risks. He talked about the reduced risk of certain infections and diseases, but also mentioned the possible complications that could arise from the procedure. He didn't push them towards one decision or another. Rather, he provided them with the necessary information to make an informed choice. Alice and John's story isn't unique. Many parents find themselves in a similar position, and seeking advice from medical professionals can be a game changer. It's about understanding the procedure from a medical standpoint and considering the health implications it could have for your child. In the end, the decision of whether or not to circumcise is a personal one, and it should be made after careful thought and consideration. And part of that consideration should always involve consulting with medical professionals. They can provide you with the medical perspective that is often missing when parents are caught up in the whirlwind of cultural, religious, and personal beliefs. So remember, when it comes to making health decisions for your child, don't be afraid to reach out to professionals. As always, consulting with medical professionals is crucial when making health decisions for your child. We have explored various perspectives on circumcision, but what is the key takeaway from our discussion? As we navigate the vast and complex landscape of circumcision, several key points emerge. First off, there are potential medical reasons that parents might consider. Some studies suggest that circumcision can reduce the risk of urinary tract infections in infancy and certain sexually transmitted infections later in life. But remember, these are potential benefits, not guarantees. Then we have religious reasons. For many families, circumcision is a sacred rite, deeply entwined with their spiritual beliefs. It's a tradition that goes back thousands of years in some faiths, and this cultural and religious heritage can be a powerful motivator. We also delved into the cultural aspects of circumcision. In some societies, circumcision is a rite of passage, a symbol of transition from boyhood to manhood. It's more than a medical procedure, it's a community event, a celebration of life and growth. As for the age of circumcision, there is no universally agreed upon best age. Some parents opt for circumcision in infancy, while others wait until the child is older. This decision is often influenced by medical, religious, and cultural considerations. But no matter what the reasons are, it's essential to remember that every parent wants what's best for their child. The decision to circumcise is a personal one, influenced by a variety of factors. It's a decision that requires thought, research, and often consultation with medical professionals. In conclusion, parents' views on circumcision are diverse and multifaceted, reflecting a mix of medical, religious, and cultural considerations. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and that's okay. What's important is to make an informed decision that feels right for you and your family. Remember, this video is not meant to tell you what to do, but to provide information and perspectives to help you make your decision. Ultimately, the decision to circumcise is a personal one, influenced by a variety of factors. We hope this video has provided some insight into the diverse views on circumcision. It's a topic that elicits a wide range of perspectives, from medical to religious, cultural, and personal. And it's these differing viewpoints that make the conversation around circumcision so essential and so fascinating. We've tried to present an unbiased account of the various factors that parents consider when deciding whether or not to have their child circumcised. But we also recognize that this is a deeply personal decision, and everyone's journey is unique. We hope this video has sparked a thought, a question, or maybe even a conversation. Now it's your turn to get involved. If you found this video helpful or insightful, give it a thumbs up. Your likes help us understand what content you find valuable, and they help others discover these conversations as well. Sharing is caring, as they say. So why not share this video with your friends, your family, or anyone else you think might benefit from it? You never know. It might just start a meaningful dialogue or provide the information someone has been seeking. Most importantly, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on circumcision? How have your cultural, religious, or personal beliefs influenced your views? Do you have a story or an experience you'd like to share? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Your perspectives enrich our community and contribute to this ongoing conversation. Before we sign off, we'd like to remind you once more that when it comes to medical decisions like circumcision, it's crucial to consult with medical professionals. They can provide the most accurate information and guidance tailored to your specific circumstances. And finally, if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to our channel. We regularly post videos on a range of topics, all aimed at fostering understanding and promoting dialogue. Remember, your views matter too. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.